Welcome into another episode of Debate This, brought to you by Phillips Law Group. On this specific episode, it's me versus the vet, Darren Urban. Darren, I'm going to go easy on you, all right?
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Sure you will.
All right, Jacob, what you got for us?
All right, let's jump into our first topic. Darren, you get to kick this one off. Does Chandler Jones break his personal best for sacks in the season? And if so, what is his total?
You know, I think that's a great question, Mr. Moderator. His record is 19. Obviously, he did that in 2019 when everybody was hoping he could get to the 20 sack mark. I do think with 17 games and the unbelievable start that he had, that he is going to get to 20. I don't know if he's going to get to more than that, but I'm going to say he'll get to 20 this year, so he'll break his own mark. Wouldn't be the record, but I just think that between all the games that he has, I just don't think he's not going to be able to get there. But at the same time, he's going to be continually getting that kind of attention, and it's going to be a hard road to hoe. So even though everybody thought, oh, he's going to easily break the record, I'm thinking he just barely gets over his own personal best.
All right, Darren, I'm going to have to agree in the sense that he is going to break his own record, but I'm going to go with 22 because that extra game is going to benefit him in the sense that, you know, once Jordan Phillips comes back and hopefully he's healthy, once J.J. Watt gets his legs under him, that means that offensive line is going to have to pick their poison, right? Who are you going to cover, man? Are you going to double J.J. Watt once he gets his legs under him? Are you going to focus in a little bit more on Jordan Phillips? That means more food to eat for Chandler Jones. He's in a feast with that extra game, and you look down on their schedule and they play the Seahawks. You know, their offensive line is, you know, iffy. They play them twice. You know, the 49ers have issues in that position. Then you have a little bit more of those opponents, the Lions, those type of opponents where Chandler Jones can easily dominate. He could easily eat 22. Gotta
Felipe,
be a little bit more confident.
If you're going to go ahead and give him 22, why wouldn't you just give him 23 and give him the NFL record? I mean, come on, you might as well go there.
22, an extra game. He's going to have more weapons on that defensive line. I think he'll pass it by 3.
I'm right, but okay.
Now let's get into our next topic. Felipe, you get to lead this one. Does a tight end, Maxx Williams or otherwise, crack 100 yards in a game this season?
Yo, Max, I know you're a cool guy, but unfortunately, I'm going to go with no. He's not going to crack it. If he didn't crack it in week 2, when he had that lucky 34-yard lucky bounce, that reception that he had that he turned into a 34-yard grab. If you didn't have it in week 2 with that luck in your favor, I'm sorry, bro. You're not going to have it for the rest of the year. I mean, what are the odds that he gets that lucky again, Darren? I don't see it. Especially once Kyler gets more comfortable with AJ Green, Rondale Moore, and, you know, the season that Christian Kirk has been having so far, I think he's going to fall short.
You know, it's hard for me to argue with that one, Felipe, but I'm going to because, quite frankly, I like being on the other side of your argument. So I'm going to say he does find a way to do it at some point. I think this offense has a chance to really explode in some of the games down the road. And I think with the way defenses are going to look, I think Maxx Williams might be in a position to get there. Now, I will say this. Maxx Williams' 94 yards was the best game a Cardinals tight end has had since 1989 when Rob Awalt had 105. And in fact, when we sit here and talk about a tight end getting 100 yards, there have been no Cardinals tight ends to even get 90 yards before Maxx Williams since Rob Awalt. The best game for Cardinals tight end since 1989 has been Charles Clay, who had 88 in a game in 2019. So I know it's a tough road to hoe if you are Maxx Williams, and unlikely because of the offense that Cliff Kingsbury runs. But like I said, I prefer to be on the other side of Felipe's argument, so I'm going to say yes.
Imagine just disagreeing with me and then stating all these facts that favor me, essentially. I mean, that's an easy alley-oop.
I came with the facts. Did you have the facts? You had no facts.
Easy alley-oop. You know, it's like you're Chris Paul, who I'm DeAndre Ayton. You threw me that lob. Thank you. I appreciate that, Darren. Again, going back to Darren's point, there hasn't been many tight ends that have dominated. Maxx Williams got lucky in week 2 with that lucky bounce, and he got that 34-yard gain or whatnot. And that's why he got those 90-plus yards. I mean, he's not going to get lucky the rest of the year. I appreciate you, Darren.
Now, let's get into our last topic. I'd have to say, it's a tie right now, so whoever takes round 3 takes the match. Darren, you get the first word on this one. What is your biggest concern heading into the Jacksonville game?
I got to be honest, my biggest concern heading into the Jacksonville game, quite frankly, is overlooking the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are not a good team right now. They've lost a ton of games in a row. They're trying to figure out a rookie quarterback. They're trying to figure out a first-year head coach that may or may not be completely comfortable in the NFL environment. And I think it's a game that this team is clearly, they're better than their opponent now. They're traveling cross country. I've covered a number of games where the Cardinals have gone to Jacksonville or to Tampa Bay or to Miami, and they don't always end all that well. Or even if they do end in a victory, it looks less than exciting because whatever, the Florida blahs that this team happens to get. So that's my biggest concern. If this team plays the way it's capable, I don't think there's any way the Jaguars beat them. So they've just got to have the right mindset. That's personally my biggest concern.
That's another good easy alley-oop for me, because you just left it so broad, Darren. Come on, get specific with it. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that defensive secondary, because when you look at that Jaguars offense, that wide receiver group is pretty impressive. Marvin Jones, DJ Chark, what's his name? Laviska Shenault. Those are impressive wide receivers. And you know what? If the Jaguars have the lead, as a fan, if I was one of their fans, I would have more confidence in Trevor Lawrence if they have the lead in the second half. If this secondary comes out flat-footed like they did in week 2, and the Jaguars have the lead in the second half, I have a little bit more confidence in Trevor Lawrence than I do Kirk Cousins. So for me, the concern is that secondary. Byron Murphy, Robert Alford are going to have huge games. You can't overlook an opponent. To Darren's point, oh man, I kind of lost it for myself right there.
Yeah, you can't say Darren's point.
I literally said Darren's point. But anyways, that secondary, that defensive secondary is going to have to show up. You can't come out flat-footed. It's a cross-country trip, an early kickoff. So you got to show up. You can't let Marvin Jones and DJ Chark go off. You can't let Trevor Lawrence click in the second half. So hopefully they have a similar game plan.
I think ultimately, Felipe, you also added to my argument, because in the end, they're going to stop this run game. And then we'll go back to your original point where this pass rush is going to eat and Chandler Jones is going to eat. And I think with a rookie quarterback who tends to turn it over, I invite passing right now at this point. So I think ultimately I am completely correct once again. Of course, it'll be Jacob's call, but that's what I think.
Well, that ends this debate, and as you said, it's time for me to pick a winner. And as I said, going into round 3, the winner of that was going to take the match. And Felipe, since you did admit you proved Darren's point, I'm going to have to go with Darren on this one.
I want to thank the Academy, and I also want to thank Felipe for helping me out there at the end, because really, I don't want to say I split this award with him, but I'll give him like a quarter of it.
That'll be it for this episode of Debate This, brought to you by Phillips Law Group. Hey, if you guys are on Darren's side, feel free to leave some comments. I know we all felt bad, but we all appreciate Darren and his contributions to this organization. We'll catch you guys later.